Hello and welcome. If you are a parent today, you know that raising children is perhaps the most rewarding yet undeniably difficult task we face. We live in an era where the world changes at a speed that sometimes leaves us breathless. Think about it. The constant presence of screens, overwhelming social pressures, and generalized uncertainty. It all seems to conspire to make us feel like we are never doing enough. We scroll, we compare, and we often question whether we are truly equipping our kids for the challenges ahead. And yet, in the midst of this modern chaos, there is an anchor, something that never changes. The profound love and deep connection we can build with our children. The goal is not just for them to survive this chaotic world, but to truly flourish. We want to raise children who are emotionally resilient, strong, and above all, genuinely happy. In the next 17 minutes, we are going to dive deep into the 5 fundamental pillars for raising emotionally healthy children in a world that often seems turned upside down. More than just theory, I promise to give you practical, actionable tools that you can start applying in your home today. The foundation, the garden of the mind. To understand how to raise strong children, we must first look at the most fertile ground they possess, their brain. Think of your child's brain as a garden in full bloom and growth. Every single experience they have, every word you speak, every gesture of affection and care, it is like a seed that we plant in their mind. Just like any garden, this neurological landscape requires specific, careful attention and care to flourish. Did you know that during the early years of life, a child's brain is forming over 1 million neuronal connections per second? This phenomenal speed of connection building forms the absolute basis of their future capacity. It builds their thinking patterns, shapes their emotional responses, and defines their ability to relate to the world around them. But the critical insight here is that it is not merely about the quantity of these connections. It is profoundly about their quality. And this is precisely where we, the parents, step in. When we strengthen the pillars we are about to discuss, we are not just nurturing their brain structure. We are ensuring that those neurological connections are solid, healthy, and filled with immense potential. We are educating them not just to be adults who find success in their careers, but adults who understand what to do with that success. We aim for children who grow up to be not only highly intelligent, but also deeply happy. Adults who are adept at resolving complex problems, yes, but who are also fully capable of loving, connecting with others, and truly enjoying the richness of life. Ultimately, what we desire most for our children is that they become integral people, individuals who are capable of facing life with bravery, but also with great tenderness. We want them to know how to pick themselves up when they fall, but also, crucially, how to enjoy the journey while they are up. We strive for them to have the tools for success, yes, but also a heart overflowing with gratitude and love. All of this, dear parents, starts right now in how we care for their brain today. It starts in how we teach them to manage their feelings, how we guide them in making sound decisions, and how we empower them to trust in themselves. Because every loving gesture, every limit set with care, and every sincere conversation is actively molding the adult they will become tomorrow. Now let's explore the 5 pillars that make this happen. Pillar 1, validating emotions, seen and heard. Validating the emotions of our children is, without a doubt, one of the most foundational and important pillars in modern parenting. But what does validation truly mean? It is not about simply agreeing with everything they say or do, or saying, yes, you're right, to every reaction. Validation is the powerful act of recognizing that what they feel is real and legitimate, even if we may not always agree with the way they react or choose to express those feelings. Imagine a common scenario. Your child comes home crying because they were not invited to a birthday party. Your first instinctive impulse might be to minimize the pain, to say something like, "Don't cry, it's not a big deal," or "You'll find other friends." But what transformation happens if, instead of dismissing the feeling, you respond by acknowledging it? You might say, "I understand that you feel sad. It's completely normal to feel that way when you're excluded." That simple shift in focus sends a profound and powerful message to your child. I see you, I hear you, and I am here with you. Why is this validation so crucial? Because when a child feels genuinely understood, their brain releases oxytocin, often called the well-being hormone. This hormone helps them to calm down and fosters a vital sense of security. Furthermore, by validating their emotions, we are actively teaching them to identify what they are feeling and, crucially, to name it. This naming process is fundamental for their emotional development. A child who knows how to articulate, "I am angry," or "I feel sad," is a child who will have the robust tools necessary to manage their emotions in a healthy way in the future. Let's look at another practical application. If your teenager is frustrated because they did poorly on a test, instead of rushing to fix it by saying, "Don't worry, you'll do better next time," you could validate the struggle. You could say, "I see that you are incredibly frustrated. It's normal to feel this way when things don't go as we had hoped. Do you want to talk about what happened?" This minor adjustment in your response can make a massive difference. Validating emotions does more than just strengthen the parent-child connection. It also teaches children to be empathetic with themselves and with others. Ultimately, we want adults who not only know how to manage their own emotional landscape, but who are also capable of understanding and respecting the feelings of others. So, the next time your child cries, gets frustrated, or expresses deep anger, remember this: the goal is not to fix everything quickly. The goal is to accompany them. It is about telling them, "I am here with you," because what they need most is to feel seen, heard, and unconditionally loved. This deepens their intelligence and ability to handle life's challenges with empathy and resilience. Pillar 2. Fostering autonomy. Learning to fly. Fostering autonomy in our children is best understood through the metaphor of teaching them to ride a bicycle. Initially, we install those trusty training wheels to prevent them from crashing immediately. But slowly, deliberately, we remove them, trusting that they will eventually pedal on their own. Though it is terrifying to watch them stumble and fall, we know that falling is an indispensable part of the process. The same truth applies to autonomy. We must provide our children with the tools they need so that, little by little, they can take their own decisions and assume responsibilities. A child who learns to make decisions, even small ones, grows into a self-assured adult. Autonomy is essential because it is a powerful force that helps children develop their self-esteem and, critically, teaches them to face life's challenges with resilience. But how do we achieve this balance without overwhelming them? The key lies in equilibrium. We can begin with small, low-stakes activities. For example, let them choose their own clothes for the day, even if the colors clash spectacularly. Or let them decide which specific snack they want to take to school. These are simple decisions, but they instill a vital feeling that they have control over aspects of their own life. Another profoundly important aspect is allowing them to make mistakes. Yes, it is incredibly tempting for us to intervene the second we see them about to mess up. We want to shield them from discomfort. However, mistakes are a fundamental component of all learning. When a child falls down and manages to get back up entirely on their own, they are strengthening not just their body, but their mind. They are absorbing the lesson that setbacks and failures are not terminal. They are simply opportunities for improvement. Allowing them to navigate these small failures helps prepare them for adulthood, fostering a growth mindset where obstacles are viewed as opportunities rather than insurmountable barriers. Furthermore, fostering autonomy inherently involves teaching responsibility. For instance, if your child forgets their homework assignment at home, instead of rushing it to the school for them, you could respond with support but firmness. You might say, "I understand you feel bad, but this situation is an opportunity for you to remember to check your backpack next time." In this way, we teach them that their actions carry consequences, but we do so always from a place of love and unwavering support. Ultimately, our ambition is to raise children who do not need to depend on us for every single thing. We want them to be able to soar by themselves, children who know how to make decisions, who trust their own abilities, and who, when the moment arrives, can face the world with courage and unwavering security. By encouraging them to choose, to err, and to learn from those errors, we prepare them for a life that is not perfect, but one they have the capacity to navigate and succeed in. Pillar 3. Creating a safe environment, the invincible nest. Creating a safe environment for our children is akin to building a secure, cozy nest. This nest must be strong enough to provide necessary protection, but flexible enough to allow for continuous growth. When we speak of safety here, we are not referring exclusively to physical safety, but even more importantly, to emotional safety. A child who feels fundamentally secure is a child who is ready to explore, ready to learn, and ready to grow without the crippling weight of fear. How do we construct this emotionally safe environment? First and foremost, we establish clear and consistent limits. Limits are often misinterpreted as punishment, but they are not. Limits are, in fact, a crucial way to teach children that the world operates with rules, and that within those rules there is a large, protected space where they can move freely. For example, if we state that phones cannot be used during dinner, we are simultaneously teaching them to value family time and to disconnect from screens. Crucially, limits are ineffective if they are not paired with profound love and true comprehension. A child must always know that even when they make a mistake, there is always a safe place they can return to. Therefore, when we set a boundary, we must do so from a place of genuine affection, not from anger or frustration. This consistency and warmth ensure they develop a positive self-image and learn to trust others, leading to healthy relationships. Another key aspect of safety is communication. A truly safe environment is one where children know they can discuss anything they are feeling without the crushing fear of being judged. It is fundamental that we provide them with the space to express themselves and that we listen to them genuinely, not just with our ears, but with our heart. Furthermore, a safe environment requires us to be a consistent role model for them. Children absorb more from what we do than from what we say. If our expectation is that they be respectful, kind, and responsible, we absolutely must embody those qualities first. The most powerful gift we can ever give them is our own example. Creating this secure environment is not achieved overnight. It is a continuous process. But every small action matters. Every hug, every word of encouragement, every boundary established with love. These small gestures are actively building a home where our children can thrive, feeling protected, deeply valued, and most importantly, loved. This feeling of security fosters confidence in their own abilities. Pillar 4, fostering gratitude, appreciating the present. The fourth pillar shifts our focus. It is about fostering gratitude. In a world obsessed with always moving faster and acquiring more, teaching our children to pause, stop, and truly appreciate what they already possess is an invaluable gift. Gratitude is far more than just saying thank you. It is a profound attitude toward life itself, one that helps them focus on the positive, even when they are facing difficult moments. Why is this attitude of gratitude so vital? Because a child who actively practices gratitude is developing a powerful, positive mindset. Instead of dwelling on complaints about what they lack, they learn to value what they already have. This practice not only makes them happier individuals, but also equips them to face adversity with much greater resilience. Gratitude, much like a muscle, grows stronger the more we exercise it. How can we foster gratitude in our busy, modern households? A simple yet highly effective way is to establish a family gratitude ritual. For example, before they go to sleep, you could ask them, "What are 3 things that made you happy today?" Or, "What are you grateful for today?" These questions not only prompt them to reflect on their day, but also train their minds to actively seek out the good in every situation, reinforcing the positive mental framework. Another method involves small, intentional gestures during daily routines. When you give them something, try asking, "How does this make you feel?" Or, "What does this item truly mean to you?" This technique helps them connect with the intrinsic value of things, moving beyond the superficiality of the object itself. Furthermore, gratitude can be practiced actively through acts of generosity. Encourage them to share their toys with neighborhood children or to make a drawing for someone who is important to them. These acts not only generate positive feelings, but also teach them that true happiness is not derived from having more, but from the joy of giving and sharing. Ultimately, gratitude is a two-way benefit. It not only benefits our children, but profoundly transforms us as parents. When we practice gratitude ourselves, we realize that even on the hardest, most demanding days, there is always something for which we can be thankful. And that realization, dear parents, is a gift that changes our lives. Pillar 5, educating with example. The true inspiration. The 5th pillar is arguably the most critical and encompassing of them all. Educating with example. Because, dear parents, children do not learn primarily from what we tell them. They learn from what they see us doing. We are their primary role models, and every single gesture, every word, and every attitude leaves an indelible mark on their developing hearts. Why is modeling behavior so crucial? Because a child who witnesses their parents being consistently kind, respectful, and responsible is a child who naturally learns how to be kind, respectful, and responsible themselves. This does not imply that we must strive for unattainable perfection. Instead, it means we must be acutely conscious that our daily actions have a direct and powerful impact on their development. If we want them to learn emotional management, autonomy, or gratitude, the most important step is for them to observe us practicing these traits first. For instance, if we demand that our children be respectful, we must be respectful in our interactions with them and with others. If we want them to master patience, we must demonstrate how we manage our own moments of impatience. And if we desire grateful children, we must practice gratitude visibly in our everyday lives. But what happens when, inevitably, we mess up? Because let's be honest, we all commit errors. This introduces another essential facet of educating with example, showing them that it is okay to make mistakes and crucial to ask for forgiveness. When we sincerely apologize to our children for an error we made, we are teaching them the fundamental lesson that everyone is human and that the most important thing is the commitment to learn and improve. Furthermore, educating with example requires us to care for ourselves. If our goal is for our children to lead happy lives, we must demonstrate to them how we achieve happiness ourselves. This means intentionally dedicating time to our physical and emotional well-being, prioritizing our relationships, and pursuing our passions. By doing so, we teach them that taking care of oneself is not selfish. It is absolutely necessary. In the end, educating with example is more than just a responsibility. It is an incredible opportunity. An opportunity for us to grow as individuals, to strive to be the best version of ourselves, and, most importantly, to leave our children a powerful legacy of love, respect, and enduring values that will guide them throughout their entire lives. Raising a child is undoubtedly one of the most magnificent and challenging adventures life offers. It is never always easy, and there will be days when we feel overwhelmed, insecure, or completely exhausted. But I want you to hold on to this crucial thought. It is not about striving for perfection. It is about being present. It is about loving them fiercely, listening intently, and accompanying them on their journey. Every time you validate an emotion, every time you allow your child to exercise their autonomy, every time you create a safe space for growth, every time you teach them gratitude, and every time you show them through your own actions how to live with love and respect, you are doing something truly extraordinary. These 5 pillars, validating emotions, fostering autonomy, creating a safe environment, fostering gratitude, and modeling behavior, are not isolated concepts. They are powerful, interwoven tools that will make a genuine, tangible difference in their development. When we validate their emotions, we are reinforcing their self-esteem and building solid emotional intelligence. When we encourage autonomy, we are giving them the capability to adapt and overcome life's challenges, fostering resilience and a growth mindset. When we establish a secure environment, we offer them a sanctuary where they can be their authentic selves without fear of rejection or judgment, promoting a positive self-image and trust. And these pillars do not just benefit the children, they transform us, the parents. When we validate, we learn greater empathy. When we foster autonomy, we learn to release control. When we create a safe space, we become more patient and understanding. In other words, these processes are helping our children grow, and simultaneously helping us grow as human beings. So in those difficult days, when you feel tired or doubt your abilities, remember this. The small gestures of love and dedication you perform every single day are making an enormous difference in your children's lives. You are their refuge, their guide, and their greatest inspiration. Thank you for being here, for wanting to learn, for striving to improve, and most of all, for loving your children so deeply. Because ultimately, what matters most is not what we give them materially, but the love and security we transmit to them every single day. And that love, dear parents, is the greatest gift you could ever offer.